The Constitution turns 223 years old on September 17th this year. Since it's been in effect, the government has made 27 amendments to the Constitution. The first 10 are known as the Bill of Rights, and believe it or not, list the rights of the people and state. They are there to limit the power of the government, to avoid history repeating itself. The other 17 amendments list various important things to clarify previous tradition, such as the 21st, the amendment that repealed the 18th, the prohibition of intoxicating beverages. Enough about the rights of the people. We don't want the lefts of the people feeling left out. I'm just kidding, but we do need to talk about the preamble and the articles of the Constitution. The Constitution was made to create the government and its boundaries. It begins with the famous phrase, "We the people," as I'm sure you've heard of. If you haven't, it's time to come out from underneath the rock you've been living under for the past 300 years. The beginning part of the document, or the preamble, lists the 6 goals that the Founding Fathers tried to accomplish when writing the Constitution. Whether they accomplished those goals or not is up to your opinion, but they wrote 7 sections of the Constitution called Articles. Let's get into the specifics. If you weren't listening earlier, the preamble, or the beginning of the Constitution, has 6 goals to it. The first being forming a more perfect union, meaning to unify the states as one country. Second is establishing justice. This one is to punish the criminals who have broken the law. The third is ensuring domestic tranquility. This is just fancy old people talk for peace in your home/state, and lets the government step in to smooth interstate conflict. Fourth is the all-important provide for the common defense. Protecting the people is the government's 4th priority. Fifth being promoting general welfare. Its intent is about the health, peace, morality, and safety of its citizens. The 6th and final goal of the preamble is to secure the blessings of liberty and our prosperity. I interpreted this one as meaning the Founding Fathers wanted to hold on to the liberty and prosperity they hoped this government would bring. All these don't do anything but list what the Constitution was aimed to do. Unite the states, make a just law system, keep peace, protect the people, keep the people alive and well, and secure all these for as long as the government lasts. Next up are the Articles of the Constitution. In the Constitution, there are 7 articles, each of which define a different part of the government. The first article covers 2 main parts. First, it clarifies when the voting for different parties takes place. It also gives the power of choosing when/where to vote to the states. In addition to those, it defines the power and the responsibilities of the legislative branch. The second article describes the president's power. It also lists their responsibilities and how they can be impeached for various reasons. Article number 3 talks about the judicial branch and the powers and responsibilities thereof. It describes the different levels of court and the impeachment of judges if treason occurs. Number 4 lays the rules for citizen court, the creation of new states, and the government's responsibility to protect the states. The 5th article defines the process for creating an amendment. Nothing more to really say about that one. So on to the 6th article. This one covers the common sense that all states have to follow the laws in the Constitution. The final article, number 7, covers how 9 states have to be in agreement for the Constitution to be in effect. The last thing we'll cover today is the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. It lists the rights and liberties you get as a citizen of the United States. Number 1 is the right to peacefully protest or speak your mind. Number 2 is the right to bear arms. Back when this was written, the U.S. was still developing and relied on the common people to fight. Third is the quartering of no soldiers. The government cannot force you to house soldiers in your home. The 4th Amendment covers a few different things about the court. The freedom from self-incrimination, meaning you don't have to testify against yourself. The freedom from double jeopardy, meaning they can't put you on trial for the same offense twice. And the right to the correct process of law, meaning they can't deny you a fair trial. We're halfway done, and here comes the 6th Amendment, the right of specifically accused people to a speedy and public trial, meaning you can't get put on detention for very long before your trial. The next one is the right to a fair jury. Just basically, the judges in your trial are not going to be biased. The freedom from excessive bail and cruel punishments is the 8th Amendment. This one protects you from paying millions of dollars for robbing a corner store, and protection from cruel punishments prevents you from being sentenced to death by monkeys or something. Amendment 9 tells us to respect the rights of others. Amendment 10 is reserving the power to the states and not letting the government have complete power. Congratulations, you've made it through yet another presentation. Before we wrap up, there's just one more question to cover. Has the Constitution done its job? I would argue that this question is subject to opinion. The 6 main goals of the preamble are met, yet not met. We are, for the most part, a whole country standing as one against foes. although becoming increasingly split into sides by the pandemic. We have a court system and use it to punish criminals, although most times the verdict of larger cases can be fought over by citizens, resulting in occasional riots and protests, further splitting the country. The government has protected us from external threats, such as other countries, although it fails to protect us from ourselves until it's too late. The government provides hospitals, yet they are absurdly expensive, and most cannot afford them. It has kept the liberty that we've been promised, yet our own liberty may be our downfall. Our posterity are forced to deal with our current leaders' mistakes and how to fix them, in return making more mistakes that their posterity are forced to fix. All of the goals that the preamble lists can be argued for or against the argument that the Constitution has done its job. Well, that's it for my TED Talk. Thanks for listening. You'll hear me next project.